Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Pray everybody is doing well on this scorcher of a May day. We are about, I think, a week and a half out before Ramadan begins. So may Allah allow us to reach Ramadan and benefit from it and emerge from it, having received His forgiveness, His mercy, His blessings, and able to see more Ramadans to come, inshallah. Ameen. I would like to start off by saying that, well, obviously, I'm Aziza. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I apologize for that. It's kind of difficult to maintain all that I have to maintain and still do videos all the time. But this is a subject that is very close to my heart because I feel like no one is broaching the subject, and so I've been wanting to for years, and for years I have taken the coward's way out, for fear of, what people would say, how I would upset some people, and things of that nature. But I'm done with feeling like that, So I am here today to talk about it a little bit with you, and hopefully, share some reminders and some, you know, some better ways of thinking. Hopefully, I can change some minds or even affect some minds. And if I get that far, if Allah allows that, then I'm grateful. So I just want to say first of all that I bear witness that there is no person, place, or deity worthy of worship but Allah. I bear witness that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was his slave and messenger and the seal of his prophets. I ask Allah to forgive and pardon any shortcoming and or sin he may have had during his lifetime. I ask Allah to shower his mercy and blessings upon him as he did Abraham and his family. I ask Allah to build the biggest, most beautiful home for him nearest to his throne, and to reunite him there with his beautiful wives, his amazing children, his courageous companions, and the righteous among his ummah. May we all be blessed, inshallah, to be among them. Ameen. I also have notes that I brought with me because this is it's going to take me a minute, so I had to write some things down. But I want to talk to you guys about prom. I want to talk to you about why it's so important in this ummah. I want to talk to you about why we as Muslims, we're supposed to live by this book right here. This is supposed to be what guides us, how it's a blueprint on how to get through this dunya. Yet we just find ways to keep falling into the trap of shaitan, and prom is one of those traps. It really, really is, and it seems like no one is talking about it. Everybody is just, they're doing this. They're turning a blind eye. They're year after year, my timeline is flooded on social media with my young brothers and sisters headed off to prom, and I don't understand. So I'm hoping that I can get this out, and maybe you can help me understand, or we can come to an understanding as to how this got so far and how it can change, inshallah. So I want to begin first of all with the speakers of knowledge. Those of you, Assalamu alaikum to you, Brother Noor Ali Khan. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Omar Suleiman. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Mufti Ismail Menk. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Khalid Yassin. Assalamu alaikum, Imam Abdul Malik, or Brother Abdul Malik. I don't know these days how people are referring to you. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Shadi Muhammad, Brother Muhammad Hoblos. Assalamu alaikum, my sister Yasmin Mujahid. Assalamu alaikum, Linda Sarsour. Assalamu alaikum to two of my personal beautiful, amazing companions, Najla Muhammad Jabba and Hujra Wahaj, whose father is Imam Siraj Wahaj. Assalamu alaikum to you too. To those of you, in my humble opinion, who have more knowledge than the rest of us, or most of us, Why is no one talking about this? Why is there are you can Google, you go on Google, you can go on Yahoo, Bing, whatever, ask Alexa, ask whatever search engine you choose to find a lecture that talks about the youth and prom and why we should not participate in it and stay far away from it. And you can't find anything with any of your names in it, or tagged in it or something. Like, I don't understand. I want to, I need help understanding why, all of you who have more knowledge than the rest of us, all of you who are in a speaking position, who do lectures, who do retreats and counseling, and who are imams, who the community looks to you for advice, for inspiration, for help understanding and navigating our way through this dunya. That prom is just a subject no one is talking about, and I don't understand, because every Ramadan there's help from some of you on Quran and Sunnah, and trying to understand it correctly. There are lectures about intermingling, especially via social media, and the dangers of it. There are lectures on Google, on YouTube, about an array of topics regarding Islam, marriage, divorce, polygamy, raising children. There is an array of topics to find with all of your names in it, or most of your names, but search prom, nothing, absolutely nothing. And I, as someone who is an avid listener to all of you, who pays attention to all of you, and I know that there are many like me, I'm asking that changes. I'm asking that at some point we can go on YouTube and show our children lectures as to why this particular thing for the youth should be abandoned. It should be just, we're going to let that part of it go. And this is why. Listen to this. If you don't want to listen to me, listen to this brother, or you listen to this sister, or listen to this one or that one. It would help. It would be a great help. And because I'm doing this, and I have a lot less knowledge than you guys. So I would appreciate it, inshallah. May Allah reward you for all of the work you are already doing. May He grant you Jannah Firdaus because of it, and allow it to benefit generations to come. Ameen. But this is a particular subject that I would just really appreciate someone with more knowledge than myself get out there. It would definitely help, inshallah. I believe it would help, and Allah knows best. I'm going to move on now, because I wanted to say assalamu alaikum and talk really quickly to the seamstresses of the world, of this ummah. I want to start off by saying that this is not a reckless rampage where I'm painting you to be the villain in all of this. This is a reminder to make you aware of the cycle that you are a part of, that you are consciously making a choice to participate in. I'm not saying that I'm the most self-righteous woman or anything like that, and I'm not, just take away rather the part where someone is trying to tell you what to do, because I'm not. I'm asking you, forget about that, but am I right? Ask yourself that question. Is she right about what she's saying? And if you can really think about that, and the answer is yes, then inshallah I ask Allah to aid you in making some sort of change. I want to start with the fact that you guys, the seamstresses of this ummah, make hijab. Alhamdulillah. May Allah reward you for keeping women like me covered. Ameen. But hijab, I want to talk a little bit about the fact that what hijab is. It is a protection. It is a deterrent. it's primarily intended to safeguard our modesty, our dignity, and our honor, the honor of Muslim women as a whole. And despite what the world tells people, you guys know that, or you should know rather, that hijab means more than just the head. This is not hijab right here. This is a kimar. Hijab is head to toe, everything head to toe. That is hijab, and we all know the ayah in this book right here. We're gonna keep referencing this book in Surah Noor, I think. Yes, verse 31, I believe, where it talks about how we are to dress, we should be showing the outside world, and what we should show in our homes, in the privacy of our homes. You know as well as I do that, it says, tell the believing women to lower their gaze and guard their private parts, and not to expose their adornments except to that which is necessarily appears thereof, meaning the face and the hands. And it talks about who to expose yourself to: your husbands, your brothers, your sons, etc., etc., who you can't expose yourself to. Listen, this ayah, it just proves what I was saying earlier, in that there are certain requirements of hijab. There are, good and well that a prom dress is not hijab. That's the point I'm trying to get to. A prom dress is not hijab. I don't, these dresses that are being made, prom dresses totally contradict what hijab is intended to be. You guys know this, or you should know this. I see year after year these gowns. They are, hijab is not intended to be form-fitting. Hijab is not intended to be see-through. Hijab is not intended to, the words tight and transparent, they completely nullify hijab, completely and totally. They pretty much make desirable what hijab is intended to hide. And that's exactly what a prom dress does. I don't care how it's, you can't put a kimar on with a mermaid style gown, and you guys know what a mermaid style gown is, and if you don't, Google it. It is a gown that is very form-fitting up at the bodice and flows out like a mermaid tail at the feet. That is what a mermaid style gown is. That's not hijab. A ball gown is not hijab. A ball gown is where it comes, a princess dress or whatever you want to call it. It's very, again, it's cinched up where the breast area is, and then it poofs out at the waist. So you really can't tell what someone's, I guess, the shape of the thigh area is, but that's not hijab. You understand what I'm saying? And not even with a kimar, it doesn't make it hijab. So I think that sometimes that you all are so bold in that you're taking pictures of the youth, these young sisters whose parents' money you've taken, and you're taking pictures of them, and you're uploading pictures of them, and you're actually you're proud of what you're doing. You're proud of and some of you, I see you're in these videos, and you're lint rolling, and you're poofing up the dress, and you're yes, and all of that, and it's like you are actually proud of what you've done. And I'm asking you, as your sister in Islam, proud of what? What are you proud of? Please just take a minute to ask yourself that question. What are you proud of? You are uploading this stuff, and your hashtag Jamila's Creations. I'm not singling anybody out named Jamil. I'm just the first name that popped into my head. You're hashtagging this like hijabified Muslima and slay queen. No. You, my sister, are you're helping someone sin, is what you're doing. You're every time that young Muslim girl is seen in that dress and by someone who looks at her with desire, because they will, and by someone, you sharing that sin. Every time a picture is taken, uploaded, shared, screenshotted, downloaded, sins, you share in that sin, and one after the other is piling up on your scale, and you will have to answer for that. And I'm just asking you again, as your sister in Islam, is it worth it? Is it really, really worth it? Because at the end of the day, we all want to go to Allah. We will not go to Him sinless, but we all want to go with as less as possible. And what you are doing is just, and you got some of you're doing 2-3 proms a year. You're and every single one you're doing all of, it's not just one gown, it's gown after gown after gown, and again, you're proud, and I'm like, why? Because even if you said to yourself, okay, I don't want to let this money go, and you're going to participate in it, do you have to make that sin then known to the world? Do you have to upload? Because is it not enough that you are talented enough to make beautiful, wonderful hijab that actually is hijab and keeps Muslim women covered, but then you have to take photos of what is not hijab and make that widely seen by you don't know how many eyes, and then you have to take a picture again of the person in it. Where's the modesty? Where's the honor? Where's the dignity in what that young Muslim woman has on? Where? I don't understand. This is the part of me not understanding, and the part of me asking you for how that translates into something that is good, into something that is beneficial. Why? Because you made a few dollars? Why? Why is that okay in your book? Why are you okay with participating in something that has no benefit for that young Muslim sister, and no benefit for you aside from the fact that you got a couple of extra dollars in your pocket, and yet you're okay? You're okay with it. I don't. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, he once said that the son of Adam won't pass away from Allah until he's asked about 5 things, and 2 of those 5 things is how you made your money and what you spent it on. How you made your money and what you spent it on. Now, you will be asked about how you made your money. I doubt the fact that you are Muslim women will make you exempt from and having to answer for that, or having to answer toward that question. I don't. The skills, the talents, and the ability that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives to us all are meant to be of benefit and utilization for us, but for Him, and Allah knows best, they are a means of assessment. They are a means of, okay, I gave you this talent, I gave you this skill. How did you utilize it? Did you utilize it in a way that was going to please me, or did you utilize it in a way that you knew was wrong, yet you did it anyway because you didn't care? Because that's essentially what's happening. We all, myself included, when we want to justify our sin, we do things we know is wrong, but at the time we don't care. It's just gonna be what we want to do, and Allah help those who want to remind us or pull our coattails, and it's like, no, that you're not supposed to be doing that, because it goes in one ear and out the other. Why? Because we're so focused on what we want to do and how we want to do it, that we're really not trying to hear anybody else who could genuinely care about the eternal placement of our soul. And we're like, look, whatever, it is what it is. I'm about to make this money. I'm about to go to this place or get into this relationship, and I'm really not trying to hear what you're saying. So thank you, but no thank you. And I know that this particular subject, and especially that I'm speaking to you, those of you who sow, This will fall on some deaf ears, and mashallah. But my hope is that it does not. My hope is that you take a minute, you really, really think about what you are doing, and you stop. That is my hope, inshallah. And I ask Allah to make those of you who take part in making dresses and or clothes for the young brothers to wear. I ask Allah to help you to come to the realization that, when you sacrifice for Him, He will reward you with something that is so much greater. And He will just, He got you. I mean, I hope and pray that you listen to what I'm trying to say, that you get what I'm saying, and you really take it in and make some sort of change, inshallah. I want to move on right now and speak really quickly to the parents of this ummah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you. I'm a mom. Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed me with 7 children. I have 5 sons and 2 daughters. Alhamdulillah. I am not a perfect mom. I will say that right off the bat. And I know that one of the rights of our children over us is that we help them get a good education, a proper education, one that will help them become productive, ambitious adults, but we're also meant to guide them and help them get the kind of education that is going to benefit them in the hereafter. Prom does not fall into that category. Prom has nothing to do with helping them become productive adults when they leave home, and it will surely not benefit them when they are when their soul is taken, or when they're standing before Allah. That's the last thing, and you know good and well, because you inshallah are well versed in what happens after death. That is the last thing that your child or my child or any child of this ummah will be thinking about. By definition, the prom is a yearly social event commemorating the end of high school. And I know that it may seem like this rite of passage that it's not that bad, it's not that deep. It's not a harmless night that will do no harm in the long run. It's not. It is supervised clubbing. That's what it is. I want you to take a second, let that swirl around in your brain. Prom is supervised clubbing. That's what it is. It is big business. That's what it is. Just like all the other traditions of this dunya that is intended to make billions and billions of dollars, that we are told to stay away from: the holidays, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, all of that stuff. Prom is intended to make money. It is a season from April to June, that is intended to make money. That is it. It has nothing to do with your child excelling in life. It is a way to show off. It is a way to it is a atmosphere of music and dancing, and it's clubbing. You know it is. You know that there is no other. It's a night packed to the gills of nothing but sin, major and minor alike. It has no. There is no. See, I get so. I'm so passionate about this, because there is no benefit to prom for a child who is being raised with La ilaha illallah. None at all. So I just want you to think about what you are allowing your child to take part in. It is one of the reasons why my husband and I definitely wanted our children homeschooled, because it is just, if you're not one of those parents, like for example, my mother, when I was coming up, I'm talking way back, because I'm not that old, I'm only 35, but for the 80s babies like myself, my mother accepted Islam at a time where it was fairly new to her community. It was like in the nation days, but she wasn't in the nation of Islam. She was just, it was new. You know what I mean? It was not something that was widely done in African American communities at the time. But when my mother accepted Islam, she accepted it with her whole heart. She started covering, she started praying, and for me and my siblings, it became a way of life there was no other way of life. When I was 5, my mother had me covering it. As soon as I knew I had gorgeous hair, it was being covered. As soon as my body started showing signs of puberty, it was covered. Like, my mother did not play. When I remember asking her to go to a dance when I was in the 6th grade, I believe. My mother was like, no, that's not what we do. We are Muslims. That's not who we are. She never allowed me to say the Pledge of Allegiance. My mother didn't play that. We're Muslims. She never had, when schools, because I went to public schools, had the Christmas themed shows, and I used to be in the choir. My mother would show up. My child is not doing that. Her name is Aziza Muhammad. She is a Muslim. We don't do that. So my mother laid that foundation for me when I was young, very, very young. So up until the point where if I had asked her to go to prom, she would have looked at me like I grew an extra head. Now, mind you, I got married, alhamdulillah, at 15. So I was a wife by the time prom came around, and I wasn't even thinking about it because I had my husband. I was graduating with my baby. I was pregnant. So prom wasn't even a thing for me. But some of you it's okay. And that foundation has to be laid in order for your child to know. Don't even ask me. Don't even ask me to go. I'm sending you to school to learn. That foundation has got to be laid, because if it's not, this is what happens. You have a generation of Muslim children who expect this to just be a part of the high school experience. They expect that at the end of their senior year, you will be peeling off, I don't even know how much money, that Allah has been able, that Allah has blessed you with, and you use to pay bills, you use to take care of them, you use to put clothes on their backs, food in their mouths, and if you have other children, you're doing the same for them. If you have whatever your responsibilities are, your child will get to the point where it's the end of senior year. It's like, okay, so I need this much for my dress, I need this much for my hair, I need this much for my nails, I need this much for my haircut, and it's like you'll be backed into a corner. And you will either get guilted or just pretty much like this is the deal. So I don't know what the problem is. It's prom season. I'm gonna go have a seamstress somewhere make me something, and I'll put a kimar on it. I need money, and they'll be looking at you, and you know better as the parent. You know that this is not something your child should be involved in Islamically, but you are gonna do this, as I was saying earlier. You're gonna turn a blind eye to it, and it's like again, you're gonna have that whole "it's not that deep" attitude when it really, really is. And to make it so bad, again, like I was saying, prom season it lasts, I think, from April to the end of June, and Allah knows best, depending on where your child goes to school. This year, and inshallah for the next few years, and Allah knows best, prom season it is gonna go down during the month of Ramadan. Ramadan, the month where the month of forgiveness and mercy and fasting and repentance and reflection, worship. This is prom season will happen during Ramadan. Prom season will end as Ramadan is ending, and I need to understand, help me understand, parent to parent, how is it that you are laying the foundation for your child? We fast during Ramadan. We pray during Ramadan. We do everything that we can think of to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during Ramadan. How do you separate that from the night of prom? How do you say, okay, it's not Ramadan this night, or Ramadan you break your fast when the sun sets, so you're not fasting, so go ahead and go to that dance and go on that date, because that's what prom is. Your child is going on a date, not a supervised date, but an actual date wherein men and women do date things, and you know this because you're an adult. You are allowing, is your child going to separate themselves from the activities of prom to go and break their fast? Because the children, and I say children because until they're grown and paying their own bills, they're children. Children leave for prom in the afternoon. Sun is still very high in the sky. Are they going to leave the activities of prom to go and break their fast with a date and some water and make maghrib and go make wudu with those dresses on and go pray in the gym somewhere? No, because that's where proms usually happen, right? Are they going to separate themselves from the other prom goers that they think are their friends and say, no, you know what, I gotta go and make salat real quick, I gotta go? Are they going to do that? Do you actually look me in my eye and actually tell me you think that your child is going to separate himself or herself from the activities of prom to meet the obligations? Especially because if they go into prom, the pen is down on them. So they're going to separate themselves from the activities of prom to meet the obligations set on them by their maker, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You really think that? Come on, you know that's not going to happen. So why are they even going? Why are they going? I want you to take a minute to think about what you're allowing your mind and your energy and your money to go toward. Think about how you have used that same logic that's making this okay, and you're giving your child permission to sin. You're giving them permission to displease Allah. You are giving them permission to go and aid in everything that Shaitan loves, everything that he loves. And if you believe as I do, and I know you are because inshallah you are Muslim, and you're watching this and that's the point, you know that nobody's promised tomorrow. Can you even promise that your child will make it home? Is that what you would want your child going to his or her grave doing? And I'm not wishing harm on your child. That's not what I'm saying. What I am trying to get, the point that I am trying to get to you is that we should be teaching them that if you don't want to meet your maker doing it, you probably shouldn't do it. If you don't want to go to Allah doing that thing, doing that sin, you should probably not do it. How many children have not made it to 18 or 21? How many? Think about that. And even we are not supposed to aid one another in sin and transgression. We're not. You know this. This book right here, Surah Munafiqun. In this book, O you who have believed, let not your wealth and your children divert you from the remembrance of Allah. That's what it says here. Even after knowing that, every soul shall taste death, that no soul is guaranteed a tomorrow, even though you know everything you know Islamically about intermingling, about just everything you know about what prom is, and everything you know about how Muslims are supposed to conduct themselves. How can you send your child on a date to prom? I don't get that. And again, I'm not saying that I'm a perfect parent. I would never claim to do that. But we are supposed to be trying to do a better job than our predecessors, than our parents before us. We are supposed to be really, really making an attempt to be better parents than the ones who raised us. that means that we should not be sending our children to prom, period. And if you're struggling with that and you still allow your child to do that, why are you taking pictures and or video of your child and you're uploading it to the internet? You don't know who's looking at those pictures. You don't know who's looking at those videos. And as I was saying to the seamstresses before, that I was talking to before, you share in that sin. You share in that sin. You're the one behind the camera taking photos and video, and you're uploading it, and you're proud. You're proud of your baby. You're proud of your son. You're proud of your daughter. And I'm asking you, as I was asking them, of what? What exactly are you proud of? Because that is not a moment to feel some sort of parental success. That is not a moment that you should feel happy in any way. Them crossing the stage, graduating from high school, yes, alhamdulillah, I clap it up to that. Them going to prom, no. So again, I'm not a perfect parent, but I'm just gonna say that I love you for the sake and pleasure of Allah, that I want the best for you, that I want the best for your children, and that I ask Allah, for those of you who have allowed your children to go, may He forgive you, may He have mercy, or may He shower you with mercy. And may He bless you and help you become better in the future if you have children coming behind the ones you already sent. And those of us like myself who aren't even thinking about sending their children off to prom, may Allah reward you. May Allah reward you. May He keep you steadfast. May He keep you. May He keep your children steadfast. May He keep all of us on the straight path, so that it's not even a concern. It's not a care. We don't care. That's what they do. We're not them. We're different from them. We're the example. So I'm going to move on now, and I want to talk really quickly. Assalamu alaikum to the youth of this dunya, Lord, this ummah. See how I'm getting all. Assalamu alaikum to you, the young brothers and sisters who are in high school, who prom, it looks inviting. Assalamu alaikum to you. I want to talk to you really quickly about the fact that I used to be a teenager, and as I was saying to the parents before I started talking to you, I was married at 15, and one of the reasons I was married at 15 is because my mother knew her child. My mother knew that I was not going to make it through high school, let alone college, unscathed. I was not going to make it through high school without intermingling. I was not going to make it through high school I was already a rebellious teenager before I got married. So she knew me. She knew that when my husband came along, when Allah sent him to my way and brought him into my life, she knew that was what was best for me. So at the time when prom was happening for my graduating class, it wasn't even an issue. It wasn't a topic because, again, I wasn't thinking about it. Alhamdulillah, I had a husband who loved me and was helping me get through my senior year. I was very, very pregnant with our first child. So the last thing I was thinking about was heading off to a prom. But for those of you who are not anywhere near that situation or going toward it, those of you who are just thinking about college or the next step in your life, I ask Allah to help you and to aid you in making the best decisions. But as far as prom goes, no. My young brother, my young sister, no. It is... Okay, let's just talk about zina real quick, okay? Zina, as you know or should know, is illegal sexual intercourse, right? But it goes so much deeper than that. You can have... It just doesn't just refer to penetration. You can have a zina of the hands, of the eyes, of you're looking at things that are forbidden, you're touching things that are forbidden, you have zina of the ears, and obviously then you have zina of the private parts. But Allah says, again, in this book right here, the book that's supposed to be guiding you into becoming, believing, practicing adults, don't go near zina. It is a shameful and evil path. Surah Isra, ayat 32. Don't go near zina. He didn't say just tiptoe around it. He didn't say for that one night. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You know, you could repent later. You know, he said don't go near it. Don't go near it. And you are not guaranteed a tomorrow. That boy that you're getting all fancy and gussied up for, and you getting your face done up for, and he has no rights to you. He has no rights to claim you. He has no rights to touch you. He has no right to look at you with the desire you know he's going to be looking at you with. That young that young woman, that's somebody's daughter. That's somebody's daughter that you're pinning a corsage on. That's somebody's daughter you have no rights to. That's somebody's daughter you have no right to claim, to look at, to speak to. You have no right toward her. So think about that. Think about what if that were your child? You would be okay with that? You would be okay with some young boy or girl all hugged up on your child like that? Like, no. That is no. It should be something that you shouldn't even want attributed to you. Like it's not innocent. It's not just a innocent thing where you're headed off to this party real quick and it doesn't mean anything, because it does. The pen is down on you. It means a lot. It means a great deal. You are, again, you're not guaranteed a long life. I want you to Google a couple of names for me. Google Trayvon Martin, Laquan McDonald, who else? I mean, any of the young African American men. Tamir Rice. I mean, he wasn't eligible to go to prom. He was only 12, but Trayvon was. I believe he was 16. Laquan McDonald, 17. Mike Brown, 18, I believe. And Allah knows best. Their souls are gone now. Gone. They are not on this earth anymore. They are in the soil, rotting. They were not guaranteed to hit 21, and neither are you. So what I'm saying is you should not want to go to your Lord doing that. You should not want to have your soul taken while you're proudly sinning. You should not want to go to your Lord doing anything that would displease him. And prom is not something that he would smile about. It's not something that he would look at and be happy that you are doing, that you're taking the blessings, the eyesight he gave you, the hearing he gave you, the sense of touch that he gave you, the legs he gave you, the heart. He would not be pleased that you're taking those things and you're unashamed of sinning with them. He would not be happy about that. I want you to just think about that. I want you to think about the fact that accidents, car accidents, not to continue sounding morbid, but just keeping it real. Car accidents are the number one cause of death for between the ages of 12 and 19. Do you know that a third of all teen traffic fatalities happen during prom season? Why? Because you have young teenagers behind the wheel on their phones. They're not paying attention. And, Google last year, see how many young men and women didn't make it home after prom. And I'm not wishing that on you. I would never wish that on you. But it is a sad fact that not everybody makes it to tomorrow. So why would you want to take the chance that is how you meet your maker, that is how you go to Allah? I'm not saying that he's not going to, show you forgiveness or mercy. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying when we go before him, we want to do so in the best possible light. Fear Allah. That's all I'm saying. Fear your Lord, because it is not worth it. It really isn't. If you think about all that you could be doing, all that you could take that money and do, and for those of you headed off to college, for you might need money, I guess, for books or for your dorm room. Think of something you could feed. I don't even know how many people with the money it would cost to go to prom. And again, prom is happening this year and inshallah for the next few years during Ramadan. You are supposed to be fasting, and not just from food. Not just from food. And when the sun goes down, it doesn't give you carte blanche to just, okay, sun's down. I could go and just be me now because, I don't have to, the next fasting day doesn't start until I get up for suhoor. No, that is not the mentality that you should have, my young brother or my young sister. And I'm asking you to please think about what you're doing. Please think about what you're asking your parents to pay for. Please think about, if you're not asking them to pay for it, what you're taking your money and you're paying for. It is of no benefit to you. It is of no benefit to your Acura, the life you will live beyond this one. It is of no benefit, period. So I'm asking for those of you who have not yet made the decision to go, please think about it. Please think about it, think about it, think about it. Do your research Islamically and fear Allah. That's all I'm going to say. And I am going to get out of your hair. But I just want to say, lastly, that none of us is perfect. I'm not sitting in here in front of you without sin. That's not who I am. I am a sinner talking to a bunch of sinners. But we hope for Allah's mercy. We read about it all the time. We read about His forgiveness. We read about the beauty of Jannah, inshallah. We all wish and hope and pray that that's where we eventually end up. But we are also not told to take lightly Allah's punishment. We are supposed to fear Him for a reason. We are supposed to fear His anger for a reason, His displeasure, His wrath. It's real, y'all. It is not something to be taken lightly. So yes, we hope for His mercy and His forgiveness, but we fear His punishment. We have to have that balance. We have to do the best we can by our children and hold on to the rope of Allah so tightly, because it's going to become harder and harder and harder to do. You look in the news. Look at the news these days. It's not trending to be a Muslim. It's really not. We are painted as the worst, especially by the man that the rest of the world is calling the president right now. And it doesn't matter what the rest of the world says. What matters is what Allah says. What matters is that the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "I and the hour are like this." He said that hundreds of years ago. So I don't even, and the minor signs of Yom Qiyamah are already being displayed. So it's not too far away. That trumpet being blown, it can't be too far away from now. And we are living in the last days. Everywhere you turn, religion and morality have been pushed to the back. They have the floodgates of sin are being opened, and the effect is it's trickling down to our offspring. And it's just what is seen as what is good is being, painted with an evil brush, and what is evil is being painted with the good brush. It's so backwards now, but the mercy of Allah is still present. I mean, we with us reminding one another of what we are supposed to be doing with books, with this. Alhamdulillah for being rightly guided. The mercy of Allah is so apparent despite everything else going on in this world. Either we want for one another what we want for ourselves, or we don't. And I want for you what I want for me. I want for your offspring what I want for my offspring. And that is to do our best to live this life the best way we can, to be spared the torment of the grave and the punishment of the fire, to get across the Sirat al-Mustaqim with the speed of light, to have no one there on the other side, and to be standing in front of the gates of Jannah and to hear, Enter through whichever gate you choose. That is what I want for you. That is what I want for your offspring, just as I would want it for my own. I'm just saying to you that we got to stop using it, it is what it is, as an excuse not to change. We have to, because if that's the case, then it's going to be a lot of us, where we don't want to be. And I would never wish the fire on my worst enemy. I don't. I want Jannah for us, Jannah Firdaus for us all. May Allah help us. May Allah continue to guide us. May Allah help our offspring. May He make it easier for them to turn away from what is not good for them. May He make it easy for us as adults, because we're not perfect either, and we still make sad and stupid choices. May He forgive us for our mistakes and guide us to make better decisions in the future. May He shower His mercy and blessings upon all of us. May He spare us the torment of the grave and the punishment of the fire. May He give us the book of our deeds in our right hands and not our left. May He see us safely across the Sirat al-Mustaqim, and may He grant us Jannah Firdaus. Ameen, ameen, ameen. I love you all for the sake and for the pleasure of Allah. Again, this video was not intended to bash anyone, but just remind you that this life is short, and at some point we will have to account for what we do here. And I just don't want one of those things to be something as pointless as the prom. Have a good day and enjoy the rest of your day, inshallah. I will try to make more videos to come. Ramadan is coming up, so we have Ramadan book club, and just take care of yourself, take care of your children, and hold on to the rope of Allah and fear Allah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.